Hey everyone, welcome back to Eat the Cake Anime. I'm your host, Jay Renee. Well, this month we are talking about deceptively deep anime, or shows, animes, donghwas, manhwas with political themes. We look at these different animes and we wonder what makes them so compelling to watch. It's not a question of, well, it's a romance anime. Well, let's see what's going on. Animes that focus on love, animes that focus on sympathy, loss, action, things of that nature. But when you look at animes with political themes, and I'm not talking about Democrat versus Republican, we're talking about a broader scope of democracy versus autocracy, corruption, propaganda, and the nature of power. Think about what's going on right now in the United States. Food benefits, perfect example. We're cutting off the food benefits, the government is shut down. You guys, this is the longest shutdown in American history, and America is a relatively young country, but we've never gone this long before in a government shutdown. And with that comes so many things. It's affecting everything. The least of all is which food we're talking about. Flights, we're talking health, we're talking anything that would cause you to move strategically in a world where you're constantly having to protect yourself and thinking that the government is going to be there for you. So when we look at these politically themed animes, it is so shocking that it's literally right there in front of our faces and we just never paid attention. That brings me to the anime we're reviewing this week, which is Code Geass. Code Geass, specifically Lelouch of the Rebellion. This anime is very good. Now, let me give you a little backstory about Code Geass. Code Geass tells the story of Lelouch, a royal who was exiled, removed, taken hostage, things of that nature after the death of his mother. So when he was exiled, his whole thing was to get revenge on the government of Britannia and just to make them all pay. You wonder, what does this have to do with delete political undertones? Okay, so we talk about Britannia. Britannia is the Holy Britannian Empire. They conquered Japan and renamed it Area 11. And what that did was it stripped Japan of their rights, stripped the Japanese of their identity. And think about it, this mirrors real world colonialism and imperial domination, exploring how empires try to justify the oppression, how the current American government is trying to justify the government shutdown, and how it is a Democratic versus Republican thing, when in actuality, like in Code Geass, you'll see it's just trying to quell freedom and how you conquer the struggle for the rights of freedom. The series Code Geass actually questions what happens to culture, pride, and to justice under foreign rule. You see the parallel today? So to me, this is a perfect anime when you talk about what's going on in the American government. Lelouch ends up forming the Black Knights, which is a rebel group fighting Britannia's regime. David versus Goliath, the rebellious people who are not going to take it anymore. You know, it reminds you of how the countries around the world were founded. When we look at Code Geass and Lelouch and his journey, the tactics that he employs with the Black Knights, terrorism, propaganda, rebellion, always raise questions about the morality of resistance. Think about it. Do the ends justify the means? When we talk about going against the grain, is this a cycle of revolution? How those to seek to overthrow tyranny can become tyrants themselves. That's my definition of politicians across the board. That's my political definition of politicians across the board. Okay, so getting back to Code Geass, the social hierarchy and class division really see this permeating throughout this anime. Britannia operates on a strict class system with nobles at the top and the conquered, the Japanese, who are also known as the 11s, are at the bottom. This exposes the politics of privilege, discrimination, systematic inequality. This shows how social status shapes identity and opportunity. The parallels that we see today in the world, all of this is there. The haves, the have-nots, the healthy, the sick, the strong, the weak. It makes you wonder, you guys, Code Geass is a parallel when you're talking about survival of the fittest. And Lelouch also had a double life. He was a noble prince, and then he was the masked rebel Zero. So those two divisions, you can see in this anime how it highlights power and class and how you see these are constructed roles. And who are they constructed by? Okay then. So with Code Geass, you're going to get more than what you expect, because when we talk about Lelouch, going back to the Zero persona, this noble prince or this ostracized person uses strategy, media manipulation, things that were kind of unheard of to gain public support. Y'all, this is mirroring real world political maneuvering. If you don't believe me, turn on CNN, turn on BBC News, even Al Jazeera television. You get so many different perspectives if you step outside of your bubble. And just like with anime, stepping outside of, okay, I love, isekai anime. Well, let me see what this political one is all about. It shows in stark contrast to what is going on with politics. This anime is constantly asking, what is the truth in politics? And is leadership about ideals, or is leadership about control? So in essence, this particular anime, Code Geass, is not just about rebellion. It is so much more than that. It's a commentary on how power corrupts and how systems control people and how individuals struggle to change them. Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion, is a blend of strategy, the morality. It makes it one of the most thought-provoking animes that I've ever seen. Now, if you know of any others, and of course there are others, we talked about how looking at the parallels with some of these animes, how they cross over. We know you have The Legend of the Galactic Heroes, you have Psychopaths, and Code Geass. Code Geass, the imperialism and the moral ambiguity in government, y'all, it asks so many complex moral questions, and the way the character evolves. Every major character in Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion, undergoes ideological and emotional transformation. And what is that all tied to? Power and politics, and also ethics. So this anime premiered in 2006 to 2008. That's almost 20 years ago. And at that time, it was essentially a futuristic political drama that was disguised as a mecha anime. But then you see the areas of gray, the Shakespearean tragedy tone, and the high stakes strategy. It made Code Geass a great anime. I urge you guys to check it out. There hasn't been a remake of Code Geass, but there are different things that you can watch in relation to Code Geass. You have Lelouch of the Revolution. You also have different movies, and it's just great. It's a great anime for you to watch by yourself, with friends. If you think, you know what, it's got to be more to it, and if there are parallels, once again, we talk about that deceptively deep anime, and Code Geass will give it to you. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a solid 10, because Code Geass covers everything. And there are also movies that are involved. There are a trilogy of movies that you want to check out with Code Geass. You cannot go wrong if you want to take a deeper dive. There's also Lelouch of the Revolution that is available. That is the second season. So I think that's it. That's all we have for this week. Special thanks, as always, to Z Media. Z Media Creative Studios has given our business such a boost. We are forever grateful. Mazani, thank you so much for all of your hard work. Well, you guys, that's all we have. So until next week, don't forget, at Eat the Cake Anime, what do we say? It is okay to enjoy anime.